In this article, I am going to share what the difference is between ASD and ABDL. I am going to focus on the things that some people think I fake my disability with which I am diagnosed. Some of these symptoms that few doctors feel I exaggerate or mimic to be disabled are incontinence, poor hygiene, using a star globe, carry a teddy bear, and seeking comfort or sympathy from others. 1 minute I talk like I am a meteorologist, a lawyer, a mental health professional, or other college professor, then the next minute I sound as if I am a baby or simple-minded. Because I am disabled and not faking something, I get extremely upset when doctors deny me the care I need because I do not understand what to say. An example of this would be when Adult Protective Services sends me to the hospital to get placement. I bring my accommodations, assessments, and current medical information with me to get assistance and support while in the hospital. I use AAC to assist me, so I do not have behavior or emotional issues. I am able to ask for a diaper and help with my hygiene to my nurse. The nurses ignore me and refuse to assist me. I can repeat my medications from my med list and why my doctors order them. I am unable to plan, organize, or use time management to take my medications properly. I can repeat why I use AAC or the information my doctors say, but unable to use the information. I am told in a hospital they must help me and give me medication and accommodation. They must provide me with a safe discharge. I go to a hospital expecting services for medical, personal care, social care, basic needs, and behavior issues, and I am denied. I know a hospital can't do this. I know the trigger by the expectations, not understanding why I am denied the help, and my sensory issues. I have a button on my AAC app programmed by my speech therapist to help me with accommodations. I have a label on my tablet for accommodations. I have speech reports on my tablet home screen. I bring in a paper copy of this to show why I use AAC. I know a hospital can't deny me accommodation. The purpose of the accommodation is to help me, so I don't have behavior issues. I cannot get the care and assistance I need in the hospital that they are required to provide people like me. I get very frustrated as I bring the information to support my diagnosis and care I need, and they discriminate against me by refusing to help me, and they help other people with similar disabilities and not me. The reason for this is because the hospitals feel I get aggressive only for attention and sympathy, and to control people who do not know me to get what I want. It is not something I want, is someone to care for me the way I need to be cared for. I need this help and it makes me feel so bad about myself. Autonepiophilia. Paraphilic infantilism, also known as autonepiophilia and adult baby, is a sexual fetish or non-sexual kink that may involve role-playing a regression to an infant-like state. Paraphilic infantilism is a form of age play. People who practice paraphilic infantilism are often colloquially referred to, by themselves and others, as adult babies, or ABs. Behaviors may include things such as wearing childish clothes, wearing or using diapers, cuddling with stuffed animals, drinking from a bottle or sucking on a pacifier, and, when done with others, engaging in gentle and nurturing experiences, baby talk, or BDSM power dynamics involving masochism, coercion, punishment, or humiliation. Paraphilic infantilism is often associated with diaper fetishism, a separate but related kink or form of expression in which people derive pleasure or ecstasy from themselves or others wearing or using diapers, without necessarily involving any form of age play. People with a diaper fetish are often informally called diaper lovers, or DLs. In practice, these strict labels do not always reflect the true diversity of expression. As such, when considered together, paraphilic infantilism and diaper fetishism form a spectrum of behaviors that are often colloquially referred to under the umbrella term adult baby/diaper lover, or AB/DL, also spelled ABDL. Meltdowns and autism. Autism meltdowns are often confused with temper tantrums, but while they may appear similar, they are fundamentally different and require a unique approach. Discover the key features of an autistic meltdown and the best strategies to prevent, prepare, and recover from them. How to respond to autism meltdowns. Autism-related meltdowns are sometimes involuntary responses to overwhelming/overstimulating situations, feelings, or environments. When an autistic individual becomes overwhelmed or overstimulated by a situation, they may experience extreme distress and temporarily lose control of their behavior. This can trigger a fight, flight, or freeze response, making it difficult for the individual to regulate their sensory processing and behavioral responses. This could be expressed verbally, shouting, screaming, crying, physically, kicking, lashing out, biting, or in several other ways. What triggers autism-related meltdowns? The exact triggers will be unique to each person and should be analyzed by specialists to come up with very specific responses, but triggers generally fall into the following categories: sensory overload, changes in routine, anxiety, and communication difficulties. Today, we're taking a look at the key features of an autism-related meltdowns and the best strategies to prevent, prepare, and recover from them. Autism meltdown versus temper tantrum. If your child is having a meltdown, it may look like a normal temper tantrum. It's important to know, however, that while they may appear similar, a meltdown is not a temper tantrum and should not be treated as such. While tantrums are most common among neurotypical children, autistic individuals can experience meltdowns throughout their lives. Next, tantrums are generally goal-oriented and occur in response to an unfulfilled desire. In contrast, meltdowns are related to a trigger and are often not a voluntary response. Finally, meltdowns are not bad or naughty and should not be punished. Remember that the child or individual experiencing a meltdown is in a state of overstimulation. They will require immediate support both before, during, and after. This means that meltdowns are more intense, more emotional, longer lasting, and more difficult to manage than the average tantrum. Qualities of an autism meltdown. There are a number of autism meltdown signs that can help you recognize when you're dealing with a meltdown and take the necessary steps to either prevent it or support your child through it. Autism-related meltdowns are characterized by the following features. Meltdowns are preceded by signs of distress. Autistic meltdowns begin with warning signals such as external signs of distress. This includes physiological and behavioral changes that can either be obvious or subtle. Meltdowns involve intense stimming. Signs of distress may include or progress to stims, self-stimulatory behaviors, such as rocking, pacing, finger flicking, and slapping. Stims are often self-calming techniques used to help regulate anxiety or sensory input. Intense stimming or other obvious signs of agitation indicate that a meltdown is imminent. Supporting your loved one during a meltdown. Once you've reached this phase, you'll need to know how to calm an autistic child during a meltdown, rather than try to put a stop to it. During this phase, your child's behavior may become explosive and uncontrolled. As such, it's important that they are moved to a safe, quiet environment, that the triggers are stopped as quickly as possible, and that they are provided with both support and space to work through it in their own time and way. This is not the time to reason, redirect, or teach new lessons or coping skills. Generally speaking, the focus should be on sensory and emotional support. This includes staying calm and creating a safe environment, keeping your own frustration or distress in check, reducing verbal communication by using visual representations and yes or no questions, decreasing sensory stimulation by reducing sensory input in the environment, dimming the lights, turning off the radio/TV, etc. Meltdowns can last anywhere from a few minutes to a few hours, depending on the severity of the trigger and the way it is managed. Once you enter the recovery stage, your child is likely to feel vulnerable and emotionally exhausted. Your continued love and support are necessary as your child may be embarrassed or ashamed at their autism and anger outbursts. It is important to keep in mind that the meltdown was completely involuntary and to reassure them that everything will be okay. It is best not to discuss the incident immediately, as this could retrigger them, but to wait until they are fully rested, recovered, and calm.